Hello, I'm Elijah Wells. With the sausage party coming around the corner this summer, I thought it's time to do my top 5 animated films not aimed at children. And if you're wondering what's the noise just down there, it's basically my mum's just watching some property show on her iPad. So without further ado, here are my 5 favourite animated films not aimed at children. And for honourable mentions is Cowboy Bebop, aka Cowboy Bebop Knocking on Heaven's Door, based off the series Cowboy Bebop series. It's based between, I think, episode 22 and 23, I think, or 21 and 22, just correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's basically Cowboy Bebop, in Cowboy Bebop Knocking on Heaven's Door. Basically, Spike Spiegel and co. pretty much try to take down Vincent after he blew up a tanker which released a virus that kills hundreds of people, and thus Halloween's around the corner. The action is pretty brutal. It is rated 12 if you live in the United Kingdom, and it is rated R, surprisingly, if you live in the United States. Violence is a bit brutal, like 1 or 2 parts, but it's an okay trip down to the future. Yeah, with the remake of Cowboy Bebop, pretty much did Horizon, with Keanu Reeves being back and forth with the project, and Gary Oldman being back and forth in the project. And currently, right now, scripts are just being rewritten and retold. Oh no, Cowboy Bebop movie. It's a great series, great movie. Just give it a go. Now, Number 5. Princess Mononoke. Directed by one of my all-time favorite directors, Hayao Miyazaki. It's technically about Princess Ashitaka, who pretty much gets a massive wound down his arm. Thus goes to a different, and just finds out how it can cure it, even though it's a bit uncurable. Then he meets San, pretty much a forest scavenger who's been raised by wolves and shows a hatred towards humans. It's apparently the last movie to use the iconic cell animation. Back in the day, cell animation is just plastic overlay against paper and all that. Yeah, the CG effects are beautiful, the characters are really strong, and the writing is brilliant, the action scenes are really solid. Yeah, it's rated PG. Yes, you got it right. It is rated PG if you live in Britain, and rated PG-13 in the United States. And heck, it's been delayed for like 3 or 2 years because of it. Because Harvey Weinstein, who was back then working at Miramax, wanted the film to be cut it down to be family friendly. Guess what Hayao Miyazaki sent him? Some sort of Japanese sword thing with a note saying, "No cuts." All in all, it's a brilliant movie. Although the violence, it's pretty violent in the film. Like, limbs get chopped off, and people get eaten by wolves, people get stampeded by wild hogs. And also, I haven't seen this film for like months now. And people get eaten by wolves, and people get decapitated by bow and arrows, and limbs get chopped off by bow and arrows. And this was initially going to be Hayao Miyazaki's final movie until Spirited Away, which became one of my all-time favourite movies. And it was inspired by meeting a daughter of his close friend. All in all, great movie. Go check it out. And it's the 20th anniversary coming next year, which means I am extra pumped for its re-release. Now for number 4, Persepolis. Basically a Iranian graphic novel of the same name. It's basically about a heavy metal loving teenager who pretty much migrates across Europe and pretty much has ups and downs right here, while her country is pretty much getting torn down by war. Yeah, it's technically a mostly black and white movie. Yeah. About the movie, it pretty much doesn't show quite a lot of violence and all that. Yeah, it's pretty much, I think it's one of these movies you have to experience for yourself. It's very underrated. Although it did win the grand jury at the Cannes Film Festival. And also the film director did another film, which was The Voices, which I really need to check out. I think it is rated 15 or 12 if you live in Britain, pending if the BBFC website keeps changing its mind, because it's rated 15 on the DVD thing and rated 12 on its website. So make up your mind. I am not entirely sure what Americans are rated. I think probably mostly a PG-13. I think it's probably due to sexualized swear words and implied sex. Yeah, it's pretty much the schoolwork is beautiful, the characters are lovely, well, sort of. And it pretty much gives me the impression like, this was what it was like back then, during the revolution. All in all, it's a brilliant movie. You can watch it. You can. Number 3. This next movie is getting a remake, but it's already got a series based on it, and it's got a sequel, and got another series based on it, and a remake, live action remake on the way, and it's Ghost in a Shell. Ghost in a Shell basically revolves around a female cyborg cop who tries to hunt down the, quote, puppet master. It inspired the film called The Matrix Trilogy, which is, again, one of my all-time favourite movies. Yeah, the violence is pretty gory at many parts, like brain matter flies everywhere, and a lot of nudity. And also, yeah, the characters are again pretty interesting. The villain is pretty much the most interesting part of the film. The action scene is is very solid. The opening setup is brilliant, and the whole movie just blew my mind off when I first saw it. Even James Cameron said it was one of the greatest animated films of all time, and it even inspired him to make Avatar. Well, some concept art at least. Yeah, if you're a true sci-fi fan, how come you haven't seen this? Come on, watch it. And another film, number 2, another film that inspired The Matrix. It's Akira or Akira. Ooh. Ghost in the Shell, it's rated 15 and rated R in the US, just forgot to mention that. In Akira, it's technically a motorbike gang led by Tetsuo after his trip gone terribly bad after he met one of the experimental kids. Thus he gets telekinesis and he loses his mind in the process of the film. Yeah, the action scenes are pretty graphic. Like, arms get severed off, heads get blown open, and he gets freaking mutated. Yeah, and a lot of fist fights to death, and a lot of child cruelty and all that. The movie is pretty brutal to watch, yeah, it's one of the greatest. Yeah, the remake's coming out soon, with Andrew Garfield pretty much going back and forth in the film, and Kristen Stewart going back and forth in the film. Yeah, I like to see the movie in a different light. Well, don't get me wrong, this is one of the greatest animated films of all time. And also, it's one of the first R-rated animated films that proves that animated films have a voice when it gets to adult content. Like I said, a lot of limbs get severed off and a lot of bodies get blown up like piñatas. All in all, great movie, but not for the faint hearts. And my number 1 favourite animated film aimed at adults, even though I don't have a DVD of it, I saw it for the 25th anniversary back 3 years ago. It's Grave of the Fireflies. Technically one of my all-time favourite movies. It technically follows 2 kids after they lost their parents through World War II in Japan, and they pretty much lived their life around it. It's pretty depressing to watch. It feels like, oh, how long could this go on? Yeah, when one of the main characters died, like, no, why? Yeah, it's pretty much one of these harsh realities, since Japan has mostly lost to lost the war, which was like, it's one of these brutal realities we have to live around. Yeah, it's rated 12 in Britain. I'm not sure what rating is in America. I guess PG-13. It's a very sad film it is. You will never smile again once you see the film. Trust me, you will never smile again. Overall, a heartbreaking movie. It makes a movie that really does make you cry. The ending is really heartfelt, and the characters are really realistic and easy to communicate. I saw it when it came out for an anniversary release for like 3 years ago. I came in walking in blindly since I don't know much about film. I was like, why did no one tell me that? I felt like it's such a overall brilliant movie. You really need to check it out. If you're wondering, Grave of Fireflies, my #1 film. That's my #1 animated film not aimed at children. Now for the rundown of my favourite films not aimed at children. Okay, honourable mentions: Cowboy Bebop, Knocking on Heaven's Door. #5, Princess Mononoke. #4, Persepolis. #3, Ghost in the Shell. #2, Akira. And #1, Grave of the Fireflies. So, what is your favourite animated films not aimed at kids? Or not aimed at children? Tell me and let me know. It should be interesting, since there are other films that I really need to check out, like Paprika and Perfect Blue. And there's other animated films that are aimed at adults, like I need to look back at Coraline again. I love that film, but I like to watch it again. Overall, thanks, bye.